Okay, so watch this. So, ladies in the house, do you like jewelry? Yeah, baby, you like jewelry, right? You like jewelry. What is a famous jeweler maybe in this mall? What would be the name of it? Who is it? What name it? Tiffany's. Okay, I've never shopped at Tiffany's. I'm more like a Kmart kind of guy, but Tiffany's must be nice. Okay, when you go to a Tiffany's storefront, do they have a tiny little window like you gotta go? Okay, or is it beautiful glass? I mean, why do they do that? Oh, to get your attention. And ladies, when you're looking at that little thing going spinning around, the jewelry's just sparkling, isn't it? And you're like going, you're getting excited over that jewelry, yes? Okay, now what do they do with the price tag? They flip it over. Yeah? Okay, now they're starting to get your attention, right? Because when you walk by and you go, oh my God, ooh, what do you got to do to find out how much that is? And the second you get 1 foot from that piece of jewelry, what happens? This guy magically comes out of nowhere. He's right there. I mean, it's like, he's there. Now, you haven't even flipped it over yet, right? You're just about to. He's there. Now, if he's an amateur, a total amateur, he will say, that's $3,980. If he's an amateur. Because what did he do? First, he got your attention. Then he got you interested because you want to know how much. But he skipped to action. He failed to build desire. Here's how you build desire. So, I need a lady in the room that loves jewelry. Okay? Your name is? Anya. Anya, I'm going to sell you this piece of jewelry. You're never going to know it. Okay? I'm going to sell you this piece of jewelry. And it is $3,980. I'm going to say, Anya, this ring right here. This is one of a kind, number one. It's a beautiful ring. Are you married? Not yet. Okay, but you have a boyfriend. You say, yes, I have a boyfriend. So, Anya, you and your boyfriend are going out for dinner. Your boyfriend has just given you this exact ring. You're going to the best place in town, and you just stroll in. With this ring on. You stroll in with this ring on. Every woman in the restaurant goes, oh my God, honey, did you see that ring? Babe, wake up, get out of your soup. Did you see that ring? Everybody in the room is looking at you. You have the best dinner in your life with your boyfriend. The ring is gorgeous. It's beautiful. You have the best date of your life. You feel like $1,000,000. Now, before we even talk about how you're going to pay for this, what do you feel? Yeah, and he asks you your emotion. He doesn't ask you what you think. That's what all of you are doing. You're saying, what do you think? Do you want one? What do you think? You're missing the emotion of the desire. Thank you very much for that. So, after we get to action, it's a done deal. This is what's missing in Enagic today. We aren't building desire to change our lives. We are saying, hi, I got a great product. Want to see my demo? If you have any questions, people have tons of questions. You go back and forth, maybe you send them some information, but you skip right to, what do you think? Would you like one? And the client says 9 out of 10 times, what? I'll think about it. I gotta ask my wife or my dog or my hamster or somebody. I gotta ask somebody. I don't know who it is, but I gotta ask somebody. But the minute you say, what do you think? You steal from them the emotion that comes from the desire stage. How do I know this? Because your boss, Mr. O, talked about this all weekend long. He talked about excitement. Where does excitement come from? It's an emotional state, right? All right, everybody, think excited. Okay, I'm excited. No way. You can't think your way to excitement. Right? It doesn't happen up here. It happens over here, down here, around here, up there, right? You have to get more emotional in Enagic. getting tons more emotional. And how do you get emotional? That's where the next slide comes in. Okay, here's press the little thing once. Boom! You have to script your story. And by the way, your story is not a medical testimonial. That's not your story. If you think all you have to offer is, my left butt cheek used to hurt, I drank some Kangen water, now it doesn't hurt anymore. That is not your story. It isn't. Because if Annika here says, well, my left butt cheek doesn't hurt, I guess I don't need your product. Right? It's too narrow, it's deceptive, and it's not the Enagic way. I've never, ever, ever heard Mr. O give a medical testimonial, except when he talked about Louis Vuitton farts, right? When he talked about going to the bathroom. And he's joking with you there. He's having fun with you. He's never made a medical testimonial once on stage with me. Why not? He doesn't believe in him. He doesn't believe our job is to cure cancer. He actually believes our job is to cure the stress in your heart, the hole in your wallet, and your body, right? And he does that, he means that holistically. He's not here to cure a disease. And the last time I heard, this cancer will kill you faster than any other cancer in the world. Right? It will. It will. JD told you exactly what was happening in his life. I guarantee what kept him up at night was money. He had a sick wife. He didn't know how he was going to help her. He had a desire to create income to help his wife. You have to ask yourself, your clients have that same desire. They really do. So you have to script a story that is so much more powerful than, I used to have this, now I don't have it. Because what if you meet Annika? Annika's in the prime of his life, he's super healthy, and he's giving you hints. Well, you know, I got a lot of kids, and gosh, the mortgage is kind of expensive. Yeah, but pH 9.5. And let me tell you about negative ORP. And he's like, well, yeah, you know, money's kind of tight these days, and, you know, my wife got laid off work. Oh, can I give you this study about how it cured brain damage and all this stuff? He's like, Don, you're not listening. And remember when we talked about the picture up there? If you saw one thing, your client saw another. Unless I pay attention to what Annika is saying and what he's not saying, I haven't scripted a story. So here's a little bit about how that story could go. One example. And we call this the jailbreaker speech. Some of you may have heard it. You ever seen this on Facebook? We post it all the time. Here's how it happens. I meet Annika at a convention, or networkers convention. And Annika says, hey Don, what do you do? I said, well, Annika, what do you do? She says, well, I'm a banker. I have 2.5 kids. I like to raise unicorns. Right? Tells me, what do people always say? Tell you what they do. They tell you how many kids they have or their family, and a hobby. What do you get out of that? Nada. You don't get much. And then Annika in response says, well, Don, what do you do? Nice that you ask, Annika. Thank you. I'm a jailbreaker. Annika goes, I don't know if I'm supposed to ask this, but what does a jailbreaker do? Funny that you should ask, Annika. I find this place called a jail, and I interview people, and I find that most people are in one of three jails. Either they're out of shape, they want to get back in shape, their body's all beat up, they're not taking care of themselves, they're smoking too much, they're eating the wrong food. We're going to call that the body jail, okay? Bad physical condition. And there's a second jail, which is even worse, and this is called financial jail. They're not earning enough money, their bills are piling up, they're arguing with their wife every day because there's not enough money, and that's a really terrible place to be. Then there's this third jail. This is called relationship jail. My God, they don't get along with anybody. All their friends have left them. They're thinking about getting divorced. Everything is just crumbling. Once I find out which one of these jails that they're in, 1, 2, or 3, I walk up to the jail cell. I put in my secret special key that I have. The Annika financial jail. Okay. And I let him out. What do you think the next thing Annika's going to ask me? Yeah, what's he going to ask? How do you do that, Don? If I can change the conversation from what to how, now we're talking. Now we're talking, right? And that's the technique that you're going to be able to change the story to how do you do that, Don? Funny that you should ask. I'd love to share with you the story of Enagic. Here's how we liberate people from that jail. And you've all got stories. You've all got amazing stories, but they are not medical testimonials. Now, if I proceeded to tell him a medical testimonial, what does that have to do with getting out of financial jail? Zero. But what if I said, Andika, I used to be under so much stress with finances. The end of the month, I just trembled. I didn't know if there was going to be anything left in the bank account. Oh my God, I just couldn't get along with people. The creditors are calling me. But I found a way in Enagic, by helping others first, that I could be rewarded financially. Totally changed my life. As a matter of fact, it changed my zip code. Now I'm enjoying things. I can now give more to charity than I ever did before. I can give to my church. Matter of fact, I paid off my parents' home. That kind of story then tells him, it's possible. So I think you are hope givers. And if you can learn to script a story that has meaning, you'll always and always, always build a team. Remember at the beginning I talked about, JB, I made a sale. Making sales has nothing to do with telling stories. But the minute I say, JB, Andika joined my team last night, I am so excited. He's like 10 Romies in one, and I got him. I'm so excited he joined my team. Now we're talking about stories. The story begins with, Andika joined my team. And it ends with nothing. We're never going to end the story. Because Andika and I are going to be outlived by Enagic. So will you. Enagic is going to be here in 300, 400, and 500 years. Your grandkids are going to tell stories about the time you had a Malaysian convention and only 300 people came, because the future conventions, then you need football stadiums. Hundreds of thousands of people. Right? You're going to remember that. You're going to be one of the people sitting there saying, let me tell you when I was a 1A. Oh wait, let me have my private jet come pick you up. Take you to my house so I can tell you about when I was a 1A. Okay? Wouldn't that feel amazing? Those times are waiting for you, but they start with excitement. Mr. Oshiro nailed it yesterday when he talked about excitement. He nailed it. Excitement will always trump knowledge. Excitement will always trump knowledge. You can tell me everything about water. By the way, I know very little about Kangen water, but I am super experienced in it. I know very little about Kangen water, but I am super experienced in it. 13 years of drinking it, 52 years old. Don't quite have Mr. O's energy, but it changed my life. I don't need to know the science. I don't have to answer every question. I am massively experienced in Kangen water. 13 years of it. Mr. O's the only one in the world living that's drank it for 40 years. Do you think he knows all the science behind it? No, but do you think he's experienced in Kangen water? Number one in the world. No other person has his experience with Kangen water. Come from that place. You'll influence a lot more people. Learn to script a story. Use things like the jailbreaker speech. Go for that excitement. Remember we talked about IDA, attention, interest, desire. Desire, desire. If you can build desire, if I can work with Andika and I can have him dream about the day he gets out of debt. Maybe he promised his wife, honey, I'll take you on a honeymoon. Boom, they got married, they had massive debt, things went bad, he could never take her on that honeymoon. Could never make her happy. Andika, can you imagine when those first couple of checks come in, you bank them, then you make that first down payment on the great trip you're gonna take your wife on? It's like, yeah, Don, man, I can see that. That's dream visioning. You have to do much more of that. Get people to dream. Get them to imagine what things are like. Anybody ever bought a house? Yeah, when the realtor showed you the house, what did they do? This is going to be your bedroom. This is going to be your living room. Why do they use that word? They want you to start imagining. Yeah, the couch is going to go here. You have the table's going to go on. The TV's going to go over here. You start dreaming in your mind what that house is going to look like. You haven't even bought it, but you're already dreaming. That's the key to Enagic. And I think Mr. O is a pro at doing that. He gets people first and foremost to believe in themselves, then to believe in the product, right? First self, then product. It's very, very critical for him. Believe in yourself first so you can do it, then the product. You know Mr. O walked barefoot? He walked barefoot to school. He's never been to college. He walked barefoot to school, barely passed high school, right? Then he's a country guy from Okinawa. They made fun of him in Tokyo. They made fun of him. His accent was different. Oh, you're from Okinawa. God, you're nothing about it. He created Enagic for people like him. So you could compete with the elite. You could join the ranks of the elite. Any position in life. So I think he is a jailbreaker himself, and I think we are all freedom fighters. You are out there to give freedom to people. Maybe not in the exact same way that it happened for you. If you say, well, you know, I'm just here for the product. It changed my life. Left butt cheek used to hurt, drank the water, doesn't hurt anymore. Wonderful, but not everybody's like you. Not everybody's like you. My advice is find out which of those 3 healths is most critical to them and deliver that. And be open. We talked before, it's about being a chameleon, yes? I don't go up to JB and say, I have a great product that I know a lot about and you don't. How does that feel? If I said that to JB, he's like, wow, that doesn't feel good. Right? Imagine Andika. Andika, walk into your house. Dad, come on over for dinner. Cool, Andika. Go into your house. Go upstairs, look around, come back down. Andika, we got a problem. It's like, what's wrong, Don? You have the wrong toilet paper. You have the wrong toilet paper. What? You are using white toilet paper. I have purple toilet paper. It's the best. Like, it's the best toilet paper in the whole world. You don't know. Me, I got the right toilet paper. I'm here to save you, Indigo. I'm here to get purple toilet paper into your house. How is he going to respond to that? Say, Don, dinner's off. Go home. Right? We can't do the same thing with Kangen water. We can't say, I know the best product in the world. You don't, and I'm here to save you. Right? People don't respond to that. But they do respond to, will you get to know me? Remember the interest stage? How can we get along together? So if I'm constantly talking to Annika about how we are going to get healthy, how we are going to make money to change our families' lives, how we are going to build a team, that's collaboration. Now I've got not only his attention, his interest, he's desiring to make that true, and he's going to make the right action to make it happen. So you have a choice today. I'm almost done, but you're about to walk out that door at the end of today. Okay? You can just be entertained today and say, oh, it's a cool movie. I heard some speakers talk up on stage, they said some stuff. For about a week, I'm going to be motivated. I'm going to go out there and change lives, and then. You got a choice to do that. There's one choice. The second choice is you can leave, go through that door, get on your phone, call everybody you know. Every single person. And don't prejudge. Don't say, he doesn't need Enagic. You have no idea. That guy driving the Mercedes-Benz that you think is rich, it's paid for by 3 credit cards. All right? He doesn't have the money you think he does. All right? That guy you think is super healthy, he's not. He's got some issues. The guy who you think has the perfect marriage and the relationships are all squared away, it's not. Right? So don't prejudge anybody. So I challenge you, the minute you walk past that line in the door, talk about being excited, talk about making actions come true, and then do the deed. Sound good? I've been happy to be here with you guys.